Seriously, Lucian, what kind of books are you reading? That's all I want to know about. I'm just curious about... Hey, everyone! I am Mike of Mike and Test Play, and welcome to Pokemon Shining Pearl version. Last time, we took on Flint, who scared me, and Lucian, who did not. And this time, we'll be facing the champion. But, between episodes, I did save, which is notable because I didn't save between recordings from the end of Victory Road through the entire Elite Four, even though they were scary. So, yeah. But I did save before the last fight because it's Cynthia and she's scary. So right now I'm going to, you know what? I don't need the super potion. I can just regular potion Sushi up and then also Eldstar up. It'll take 3, but that's fine. I won't be using regular potions in the final battle, but there's a chance I could use a bunch of super potions and all of my revives and all of my max potions and all of my hyper potions and all of my roller stores. Not saying it's gonna happen, but I'm saying that there's a chance. So, other preparations that I'm doing here. I have, oddly enough, and this was not planned, the exact number of rare candies that I could, if I wanted to, make my team's levels match Cynthia exactly. So, I'm not gonna do exactly that, but I am going to at least match her level total. In that, let's see, Tank, you're gonna get a lot of rare candies here. I like that you can see the exact experience that it gave. It's a welcome change. So Tank gains a lot of... Slack off! It's actually fantastic for competitive, but this isn't competitive. Let's see. Who else do I want to... I want to get Eldstar, a few. Just, you know, a bit. Get him ready for his close-up. No, you do not need rest. And then... I have 3 left. You know what, Cusco, you're going to get 2 of them. Because, you know, starter. Obviously. And then... Corona, you're going to get the last one. Just because. That's. And wants to learn Air Slash. Would be phenomenal on a not physical attacker who has minus special attack. Okay, so next up, we do need an elixir on Eldstar because all of Eldstar's moves are basically out, and that brings them back up to full. And I like full moves. The next thing, this is the weird one. Cusco's actually going to be learning Shadow Claw. This is because Grass Knot's not really going to help me in this final fight, and Cusco desperately needs a physical move for the Pokemon he's going to be fighting today. Hopefully the only one he's going to be fighting today. Hopefully, being the operative word there. Couple minor changes left. Tank's going to be getting the Icicle Plate instead of the Soft Sand. And then... Cusco, what can I give you? Let's see. Spooky Plate. Boost the power of the... Well, Shadow Claw. And now, I'm just going to put Royal Speller up front. And head on in. I have been building up this fight, and for good reason. Because it's the champion of the Sinnoh region. I've been told it's rougher now than it was in the originals. Have you been keeping well? Thank you for Mount Coronet. I'm truly grateful. Together, you and your Pokemon overcame all the challenges you faced, however difficult. It means that you've triumphed over any personal weaknesses, too. The power you learned, I can feel it emanating from you. But that's enough talk. Let's get on with why you're here. As the Pokemon League champion, I accept your challenge. Sinnoh League champion Cynthia is the most difficult league champion of them all, by far. Now, I have a firm respect for several of the league's champions. Cynthia wipes the floor with them. She just does. Now, Cynthia starts out here with, as a notable trainer, her Spiritomb, level 61. Hey, look, pressure versus pressure. It is a Ghost Dark type, which means that in the original games, it had no weaknesses. Not true anymore. Now it is weak to Fairy type moves. Pressure for its ability, a quiet nature holding a citrus berry. With the moves, Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, Psychic, and Sucker Punch. This thing is pretty well designed to, well, take hits and then hit back. With Sucker Punch being the priority move. Yeah, you saw there, strong neutral attack, didn't really do all that much damage. And wow, it did a lot in return. Alright, Royal Speller, good to know that you outspeed it. Very handy there. I will be using healing items in this battle. I have no shame about doing so. I'm hoping I don't have to get into a Super Soaker. Okay, so she critical hit me right away. Good start. Good solid start. Oh, goodness. Okay, Eldstar, believe it or not, even though you're weak to its moves, you have a super effective move, and that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah. So, it's a great lead because there's not a whole lot that you can just do to it. And as you saw there, it took a super effective hit. Not stab, but super effective. Barely losing half its health. And then did a tremendous amount of damage back to me. I've now hit it from both the physical and special sides, and it has barely flinched. I don't know if Dazzling Gleam can get the KO here. It cannot. This is not going well. Holy wow. Okay. So, there goes half of my strategy. My team does not match up well against Cynthia's. This is just a flat-out statement. Perona's kind of my catch-all for... This poison isn't going to be very effective. Perona's kind of my, revenge killer, and it was too weakened, so she has already full restored it back to full strength. I don't think this will do more damage, but if it crits, it might. Okay, that's pretty much what I was counting on. The critical hit is a pretty high chance, and you have Psychic. And I knew that, and wow! And you have also critically hit. That's fun. That's a fun one. That's at least okay damage. Alright, Perona getting the critical hit again. And now, since I know it'll be using Psychic, Cusco does resist that. And yeah, we're off to a nightmare of a start. Spiritomb used to be the Pokemon you could just send something in on. But now that Steel types no longer resist, you know, Dark or Ghost, can't really just sit there with almost anything. So, yeah. Was going to be Cusco. It would have been in the original games, because Steel type just take everything. But, yeah. Now she's sending in Gastrodon. Not the best for me, but it's okay, because we're still just going to beat her. This is just what's going to happen. It's just going to be much, much harder than I thought. Anyway, her Gastrodon is her next Pokemon up. Level 60, a Water Ground type, with Storm Drain for its ability, so don't go use some water moves on it. They will not affect it. A relaxed nature and holding leftovers, with the moves Scald, Earthquake, Sludge Bomb, and Rock Tomb. Pretty mean. Pretty mean as a moveset. Not a lot of holes here. Obviously, if you have a Grass-type move, bring it. Grass Knot is not going to do all that much for you here. Gastrodon is not a particularly heavy Pokemon. And now we're healer versus healer. But hers just dropped my speed. Fortunately, I'm not really worried about Scald here because, well, Sushi's a special attacker. My goal is pretty much hope for a special defense drop somehow. The odds are low, but possible. and then get it into range for a Hyper Beam. Not great odds, but if I can get the special defense drop, then it's much more of a firm thing, because the Shadow Ball is going to be about 3 times as strong. Sorry, a Hyper Beam is going to be about 3 times as strong as a Shadow Ball. I do not know why she is only Rock Tombing here. I guess to get the speed advantage? But my honest question is, how is she not fast? Sushi is not exactly a speedster. So this is weird. But there's the Earthquake. Alright, so she's just programmed to do the most optimal strategy that she can. Fun. Yeah, so best option against this Gastrodon here is grass-type moves. If you have a physical one in particular, that would be good. Gastrodon usually is a little bit more specially bulky. So if you have like a Leaf Blade or something, I think one more Shadow Ball and I've got this. That did almost 60. More than 50. Okay, so Sushi has it in KO range, but I think another leftovers here will still be KO range. So, unabashed healing, because, hey, she's already done it. Why not? Let's hope she doesn't also heal, because that would just put us right back to square one. But yeah, got the special defense drop. Earthquake would have KO'd me right there, so glad I healed. And now I get to Hyper Beam it. Basically, Sushi was chosen here. Again, my team does not match up well against this Elite Four / champion at all, and Cynthia is a real problem for that, because I don't really have an answer to like half of her Pokemon. Sushi, you had not Hyper Beamed before this moment. I'm so proud of you. Great job. Well, we've healed a bit. And now she's 2 Pokemon down, and so are we. And of course it's the Lucario. Okay. So Eldstar was the Pokemon designated to take on the Lucario, because he does quite well against it. Tank? You're gonna be pulling double duty here, buddy. Lucario is one of the more dangerous Pokemon on Cynthia's team. It is level 63 Fighting Steel type, with Inner Focus for its ability, a timid nature, and holding Wise Glasses. Moves include Aura Sphere, Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Nasty Plot. KO it quickly. My plan was Jirachi, because Jirachi resists everything it's got. Well, neutral on the Aura Sphere. But your best bet is a very strong ground, fighting, or fire type move, which she used Nasty Plot. This was literally the best case scenario for me, because there's no way it's standing up to a Stab Earthquake, and yeah, if it sets up Nasty Plot, it's going to outspeed a lot of the Pokemon on your team, and it's going to do a tremendous amount of damage. So that was this Cynthia's first mistake so far, and wow, was that a really good mistake for me right now. Corona, I know you're weakened. You're gonna have to do it anyway. I'm just gonna heal Corona right away, because up next is her Rose Raid, as she is sticking to kind of what I expect out of Cynthia. She never has a set pattern with what Pokemon she sends out next. Her Rose Raid is level 60, a Grass Poison type, with Poison Point for its ability, a timid nature, and holding an Expert Belt, with the moves Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, and Energy Ball. She is very well designed here to deal a lot of damage to a lot of types. Now, I would argue that Rose Raid is the easiest member of Cynthia's team, as long as you have something that can resist it. Crobat, for example, not weak to any of her moves. Shadow Ball is her only option that does neutral damage. So, pretty good choice here. If you have any kind of flying type, that's generally going to be a good idea. Just don't send in anything that it hits for super effective damage, and you'll probably be fine. Even though it is her weakest Pokemon, you'll notice I'm not really healing up my team here. That's because it does a tremendous amount of damage. You know, Roserade's a good offensive Pokemon. So it's not really a breather like other champions have had along the way. It's more of a, hey, I can just send in something and I know I'm going to be able to beat it because of its resistances or because it's just going to one-shot it and not get KO'd in return. So, you know, I mean, I'm using Pluck, which is not a very strong flying type move. And, you know, I'm getting a fairly secure 2-hitter. If I crit, it would be a 1-hit, but didn't get that. So, this is what makes Cynthia so difficult as a champion. Most champions have a weak point, or two, that you can take advantage of. Cynthia doesn't really have that. When Roserade is your weakest Pokemon, and only because you can type match it, that's a problem. That's a real problem. Her next Pokemon is one of the toughest, Milotic. Level 63, a pure water type with Marvel Scale for its ability, a bold nature, and holding a flame orb. With the moves Recover, Mirror Coat, which is an egg move, Ice Beam, and Scald. This is why I taught Cusco Shadow Claw. He needed a physical move that could hurt this thing. For at least neutral damage, and of course she got the burn on turn 1. Of course she did. Good news is she's going to get burned too. Bad news is Marvel Scale means that now increases her defensive capabilities. I'm not messing around with this thing. This is what the full restores are for. Cusco is... I chose him to be the Milotic's opponent, and yes, I got rid of Grass Knot. Seems like a silly idea. I probably should have gotten rid of Flash Cannon instead, but Mirror Coat is really this Milotic's only way of dealing real damage to Cusco. So I went with high crit rate Shadow Claw as a physical move that I didn't need you to avoid it. Cusco, don't be winning me the championship on the affection stuff. I went with the high crit rate Shadow Claw in order to sort of hopefully cut through its defenses. And Cusco just resists. I mean, Scald is not doing all that much damage here. It's not doing nothing, because Milotic's still a strong attacker and has gotten burned twice out of 3 times, which is the 30% chance. Not great luck. Hey! That was good luck. That's the affection kicking in. Milotic is here to be a very strong special wall. Special tank, really, because both of its defenses are great, especially since with the Flame Orb strategy, my goodness, is its defense high right now. I mean, you see how little damage. It's not as though Cusco is a very strong physical attacker, and without, you know, stab, Shadow Claw is not all that strong. But it's still outpacing me in damage, dealing only resisted moves against a fairly strong physical defender. Now, the fact that it's now burned me 3 times out of 5 helps the cause. But, you know, Cusco, we're going to be full restoring yet again. Like I said, shameless with the items. Against Cynthia, just do it. Just say, you know, if I need to use my revives, I need to use my revives. I'm really hoping I don't need to here. That's why I haven't so far. And oh yeah, there's the Recover. Milotic can take a long time. It's built for both stall and just dealing damage. So, you know... This is not a good matchup for me. This is not a good matchup for most teams because it is very rare to actually have something that can beat this thing. A physical electric type like Luxray would probably be a very good call here. But even then, after that Marvel Scale goes up... Okay, seriously. Scald has a 30% burn chance. This thing has burned me the vast majority... Well, there was the first critical. But hey, Burn got healed again. That's good. You know what? I'm going to take a shot at it. I don't think she's going to mirror coat right here. As she scalds and scalds and scalds. When she switches to Ice Beam, I will know that I'm in good shape. Okay, yeah, so Flash Cannon does more, which I'm not surprised by, even resisted. Grass Knot wasn't going to do a whole lot, because... Alright, now you're going to mirror... Ow, you're going to recover. Okay. Grass Knot wasn't going to do a whole lot. Milotic doesn't weigh all that much. So I kind of got rid of it as a... Just in case Cusco has to cover other things, he still has his other good moves available. And it just wasn't going to be all that useful. So, you know. Yeah. As she continues to scald me. The reason I'm using Flash Cannon here, by the way, even though it is technically weaker than Surf since she resists both moves, is that I'm going for the special defense drop. I know her last Pokemon, the only move I need against it is Ice Beam, so if I can drop its special defense a little bit more, that'll make this battle go less slowly, because I'm aware that this is taking forever. There's a special defense drop. Alright, that's a good start. Start, I say, after like 10 minutes of fighting Milotic. She is still just going on the offensive with the Scalds. Weird. I honestly was okay, well, there's a burn again. I was honestly expecting her to start switching it up to the Mirror Coats now that I've been using a special attack over and over. But oh yeah, she's only used Recover so far. She still has full restores that she can use on this thing. So the battle is far from won yet. I'm really just focused on PP stall. That's kind of what Cusco's here to do. I was hoping that maybe Shadow Claw could get a couple early crits and stuff, but the burns, even though Cusco has cured himself and I've full restored like 3 times, the burns kind of took that away as a viable strategy. Oh no, there's the Mirror Coat. Of course you scored a critical hit on the Mirror Coat. That's fine. That's why I didn't want to use special moves, but that's fine. You know what? I'm 90% sure she's going to recover, so I might as well go for a Sort. Try to do as much damage as I can. Oh, she full restored. That's fine too. Means I should have gone for the Shadow Claw on the non-Marvel scale turn, but that's fine. Oh boy. Alright. Eventually, she's going to run out of Scalds. Oh, she's Mirror Coating here. Ha! Ha! And again I say, ha! So, if you manage to get her into a situation like this, where you just are able to resist all of her moves, no matter what they may be, this is your best opportunity to actually heal the rest of your team. If I wanted to keep my whole team alive, I would be doing so right now. Believe it or not, for me, Milotic is more than likely my biggest worry. As I max potion Cusco here. Cusco is very good defensively against it. On the offensive side, I've got very little. Sushi's Thunderbolt is pretty much all I have, and it's so vulnerable to Mirror Coating that, you know, it's not a very good fit here. Let's see. Gonna Shadow Claw. I think she's gonna... Nope, she's gonna recover. Okay. So yes, this is basically my strategy. Stall out its offensive moves with Cusco here, and then once she's gone down to not having Ice Beam or Scald, I can switch in Corona and try to... Alright, yeah, I figured she was going to go back on the Scald. I can switch in Perona and try to really finish it off. I really wonder how many... I've lost track of how many times she's burned me now on a 30% move. That, it should burn me 5 times through 15 PP. I'm just not even going to heal it right now. Oh, yeah. She's starting to recover a little bit more often. That's interesting. I do apologize for how long this is taking, but that's just how Cynthia is sometimes. That's how most champion battles are, really. You know what? I'll flash cannon one more time. I don't think she's going to mirror code it. Oh, she is going to mirror code it right now. This might be trouble. If you were unaware, what mirror code does is the same thing as what counter does. It's on the special side, counter's on the physical side. If your Pokemon is hit by a move of the particular move type that it is for, so counter on physical moves and mirror code on special attacks, it will deal back double the damage that your Pokemon took. It makes it especially effective on Pokemon with high HP and low defenses. This is why Wobbuffet was amazing in in certain games, meta games, because he had both moves. He had trapping abilities, so an opponent was forced into just sticking with whatever they had. He could more than likely take a hit and then KO right back with whatever was the proper move there. Yeah, it's effective. It does a tremendous amount of damage. And for a Pokemon like Milotic, who has very high physical defense because of Marvel Scale boosting it up, it's dangerous. Because the option would be, yeah, hit it with a special attack, but you can't, because then it'll just hit you with the mirror coat. She might run out of PP in total before I start, before I'm able to switch out. Yikes. Or before she even starts trying to Ice Beam. Although, if she just keeps mirror coding, I can just start switching. You know what? I'm gonna try that. Because I think she's stuck in a mirror coat loop right now. I don't think she's gonna try to Ice Beam. Sushi! Let's just try to do some damage here. Let's try to mix it up a little bit. I'm aware of how beat up my team is, and if you know what... Cynthia. That was rude. That was very rude. I'm gonna Thunderbolt you now. Oh, she outsped. Okay. I thought she'd switch to Mirror Coat and I'd just get a free hit. Sorry, Sushi! Yeah, given the state my team is in, I can understand if you're going, what you doing? Why aren't you taking advantage of Cusco's bulkiness to heal up your Pokemon? Because you know what's coming. Not as worried about what's coming. Just not. I have Tank. Tank is a very good answer for what's coming. So you know what? Let me talk a little bit about Cynthia's team as a whole. As I realized that was my last Shadow Claw. And so I'm going to have to use an Ether on Shadow Claw because she's only used 2 Ice Beams so far. Luckily I have them. And we're going to use one. Very rare to use an Ether in battle. You're getting to see all of the stall tactics. There's 3 Ice Beams. Yes, I'm counting them. It's important. Anyway, let me just go over kind of the best Pokemon to use against Cynthia's team as a whole. Ice Beam number 4. For Spiritomb, it would be something of the Fairy type. Togekiss is available in this game. He's a fantastic Pokemon anyway. You can get him in the underground. Yeah, he's probably your best answer against Spiritomb. He's resistant against Dark-type moves. He's not weak to its other types of moves. You can get Stab Fairy moves. Pretty good option. For Roserade, it really is Crobat. There's not a lot better, but other things, Staraptor, Infernape if you've got one, that's 5. You know, Togekiss, not the best option because Sludge Bomb, but a good offensive option. Rapidash can be fine if you're wanting to go the Rapidash route, or Houndoom would be a good choice there. For the Gastrodon, it's anything with a solid Grass-type move. That was 6. So a Roserade of your own would be a spectacular Pokemon there. Torterra, a little bit risky because of... Oh, no, wait, it doesn't have Ice Beam in this game. Torterra, great there. So, you know, that's kind of your best option. For the Lucario, I kind of demonstrated one of the better ones. Anything with Earthquake, Flamethrower, Flare Blitz, Brick Break, your own Lucario, if you think you can outspeed and just KO it. There's 7. You know, all very good options against the Lucario. The key is something that it wants to nasty plot against, apparently, because if you can get that free shot, you can just one-hit it pretty easily. 8. And then for the Milotic here, your best option really is going to be Luxray, really. If you can get an Electivire, that would be great too, because any grass type is just going to run into 9 Ice Beam. And then you're kind of, you know, facing difficulties. She's going to recover here. There's a 100% chance she's recovering here. Or full restoring. So, Surf it is. No! She used her 10th Ice Beam. Well, Surf it is works fine. Yeah, really, you're looking for... Really? Oh. Praise. Affection. Well, I'll take it. I was just going to switch into Perona next turn anyway. She wouldn't have been able to hurt him at this point. Hurt her at this point, I should say. And now for her ace. This is the Pokemon everyone worries about with Cynthia, and for good reason. Garchomp is a ridiculously good Pokemon. Flat out. Across the board. I can't remember the last time I was put in a corner like this. It's Garchomp. And Cynthia's Garchomp is no exception to the rule. It is level 66, a Dragon and Ground type Pokemon. It has Rough Skin, its hidden ability for its ability in this game. Jolly nature and holding a Yachi Berry, which reduces the super effective power of Ice-type moves. Its moves include Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Swords Dance, and Poison Jab. Dangerous. This is the Pokemon designed to sweep your team. Pretty much regardless of what you have, it can do it. With an exception. 2 exceptions. Bronzong with Levitate completely and utterly wrecks this Garchomp. The only thing it can do to it is a resisted Dragon Claw. Tank is a good option because he's physically defensive and can put it to sleep with Yawn and can use Ice Fang, which is going to be resisted once by the Yachi Berry, but not twice, so the next move is going to do double damage. Okay. So the danger here is if she wakes it up with a full restore right now. If she wakes it up with not a full restore, then another Ice Fang wins it for me. Let's see what happens. Oh, she stayed asleep. Tank, you're taking one for the team, buddy. Because that works. Like I said, wasn't worried about the Garchomp. The other option, Gyarados. Gyarados comes in, uses gets off the Intimidate, and then can crush it with an Ice Fang of itself. Or you can just set up a Gyarados at the very start of the battle and Dragon Dance and then win your way through. That works for the entirety of the Elite Four. And only Cusco and Corona are alive at the end of the battle. There's something to that. As we have defeated Champion Cynthia. Just a few minutes ago, you were the most powerful challenger. And just now, you became the most powerful of all the trainers. You are now our newest champion. Woo! Rough start! That was excellent. Truly an outstanding battle. You gave the support your Pokemon needed to maximize their power, and you guided them with certainty to secure victory. Also like a bunch of full restores, but okay. You have both passion and calculating coolness. Together, you and your Pokemon can overcome any challenge that may come your way. Those are the impressions I got from our battle. I'm glad I got to take part in the crowning of Sinnoh's new champion. Now then, step onto the lift. Whew! That's what makes Cynthia so tough. Her entire team is difficult, and then the Garchomp at the end, which is the single most terrifying Pokemon in any main series Pokemon game. To be clear, it just has answers. That makes her so difficult. It's not just one Pokemon, it's her whole team with a monster at the end. The room ahead is the Hall of Fame. But again, Bronzong with Levitate completely shuts it down. Like, 2 of its moves can't hurt it, Dragon Claw is resisted, and you can just Iron Defense up to match its sword stances. You'll be fine. Oh, hey, look! Mike, your last battle was splendid. It involved 15 minutes of Milotic stall. Oh, hello, Professor Owen. A child I enlisted for my Pokedex project has come this far. It's only natural that I come and witness their crowning achievement. Mike, I shouldn't call you a child anymore. You've grown into a real champion. Professor, you still enjoy the enthusiasm kids bring to your research, don't you? Step this way, please, Mike. Professor Rowan, I need you over here as well. Yes, I brought my briefcase to this room. It felt fitting. It's been a long while since I last entered this room. If the last time you were here was when I became champion, then yes, that would be quite a long time ago. Mike, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Your names will be recorded for posterity here. What you are leaving are the memories of your adventure so far. It's time to record your names, you and your Pokemon. Remember, your Pokemon are partners that grew with you through many challenging battles. This machine will make a permanent record of your achievement. And achievement it was. As we welcome our team to the Hall of Fame. Royal Speller! Aw, she was so new. Perona! There from the start. Cusco, the almighty starter. Eldstar, the true MVP of the Elite Four, even though he got crushed by the champion. Tank, who was added to the team for funsies and to beat Garchomp. And Sushi. He's so pink and tongue-like. As we are a league champion with a very high time because of all the running around I did in the underground. Various points of the game. And that is Pokemon Shining Pearl version. My thoughts on the game. Interesting. Shining Pearl had a lot to live up to. It is a remake. The Pokemon remakes to this point have been Fire and Leaf Green version, which improved upon the original Red and Blue in every possible way and are fantastic games. In my mind, still the definitive Kanto experience. Heart Gold, Soul Silver somehow managed to improve on Gold, Silver, and Crystal in truly spectacular ways, adding new things, adding extras from Crystal version, adding the Pokemon following mechanic, which was perfected in that game and has not been perfected ever since, and it doesn't make any sense that they have removed that whatever. And, added a ton of new things, the Battle Frontier, everything that they added in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire gave us Mega Evolutions, gave us a new storyline at the end of the game, gave us a ton of things, gave us flying in the overworld, all of this extra stuff. Even Let's Go, they were remakes, but they were a totally different branch, and they gave us a brand new look at the Kanto region, and the physical special split, and, all of the differences that Let's Go had from the original stories with new storylines and new things to do. This game didn't have that. The chibi art style I liked when it was first announced, but when I realized that it was basically a shot-for-shot remake, with the only real additions being the Grand Underground and the Poketch, which was amazing, taking out HMs in favor of Poketch moves. That was a huge improvement upon the original games. But the other quality of life changes were really just taking away options from us. The fact that Experience All is on all the time with no way to turn it off is an intentional design flaw from Gen 7 to Gen 8. And I understood it for Let's Go. It's meant for casual players, players who are trying to get into the series for the first time. It works there. In main series games, it doesn't work. And the fact that this game tied the just ordinary friendship into affection, again, it was done in Let's Go, which is a less serious game. Here, I felt like that champion battle, I only beat that Milotic at the end there because of affection boosts. Now, granted, I was going to beat it anyway, I was stalling it out, but I beat it more quickly because of the affection boosts, and I won a couple of battles in the Elite Four in no small part because of that as well. And that is a big, big letdown for a series that doesn't want to hold the player's hands all the time. The other part that really I think was a big flaw for this game is that because of all of those boosts, because of those advantages, the main game was very easy. I never struggled at any single part, even when I didn't have good matchups. I beat Faulkner by using 3 Pokemon who were weak against electric-type moves. I mean, that's not a challenge, and since you're so over-leveled the whole time, But then the Elite Four turns it around and says, you know what, we're going to have fully competitive movesets with what seems to be fully EV-trained Pokemon, and just try to destroy you. As an experienced player, I enjoyed those battles. I like competitive level battles, and having them in-game against an in-game team brings a level of challenge that is very welcome to me. But I was intentionally under-leveling myself the whole time to try to make the game a little bit more challenging. For a new player, that would be a crushing experience. I'm not sure how they'd get through some of those fights. So, I don't know. That seems like a miss. And then when you throw in the fact that there were movement issues, like literal moving my character was not easily done. There were several times when I felt like I was running into walls that I shouldn't be touching. The Pokemon following you mechanic was really weird and oftentimes prevented you from doing things. I feel as though this is the first main series Pokemon game that has not been developed by Game Freak, and I feel as though you could really tell. Ilka did as good a job as I guess they could, but you could really feel that it wasn't a game made by the same developers, by the same development team. And that is a credit to Game Freak in that you can really notice the quality, but it means that this game, it might be the weakest main series Pokemon game in the entirety of the series. And yes, I include both Let's Go, Arceus, and the 2 GameCube games in that assessment. I wouldn't go far enough as to call it a misstep. It's a remake. It's far and away the worst of the remakes, but I wouldn't quite call it a bad game. It's still a Pokemon game, as my mom is saying that Larry came all excited about getting on a ship at Snow Point City. And yeah, that's the introduction to the post-game. If you get on the ship at Snow Point City, you can head off to the post-game areas, which we won't be doing for the rival run because we're just going to have one last battle test, because now I am the champion, and this is my champion team. So overall, I don't agree with the critics saying that this is a bad game or that this is anything other than it's a Pokemon game. A Pokemon game is a good game. Are there issues? Sure. Is it the weakest of the remakes? By a lot. Is it the weakest Pokemon main series title overall? Kind of. It's close, but the only game that's really in this wheelhouse, in my opinion, introduced one of the best concepts ever to us, Mega Evolutions. So that kind of wins it out for me. This game brought us nothing new, and the only thing it really gave us was some of the Pokemon from the Platinum decks in the Grand Underground. And that's kind of it. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Share with me if you have any disagreements. You know, I'm always happy to to discuss any Pokemon game with anyone. But that's going to do it for this game. So I will see you in the champion battle with Tess. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you for the next series we do.